Hey there, Justin with Vlge. Going to take you through the financial dashboard and financial inbox, the two key components of managing financials from a day-to-day and month-to-month or quarter-to-quarter basis. So if you'll see here on the screen in the lower left, we have financial inbox and financial dashboard. There's a lot here in Vlge, but there's other videos on other sections. So today we're going to focus on starting with the financial dashboard. And right across the top, you'll notice you have your total balance. You'll have some activities as far as needing categorization, which prompts you to open the inbox. And then, of course, pending approvals, pending transactions, etc. So just a quick orientation. You have your core financial tools here. Then you have the billing and payments. So this is all about collecting or setting charges from your community, paying bills for vendors, recording manual disbursements or checks written, managing your vendors, expense reimbursements. If you've enabled that for your community, people can submit expense reimbursements, money they've spent on behalf of the organization, and you can process those and track those there. And then payment tracker for any payments that you just want to make sure that you have your eyes on to understand. It's kind of a focused area for looking at all of those payments that you're accepting to the organization. Then you have your banking area. There's a dedicated page for Western Alliance Bank, whether you're using them as your main operating account or just a parking spot for some ACH transactions. That's located there. Your other banks and connections through Plaid here. Your bank reconciliation, kind of your monthly operating rhythm there. And then there's something unique to Vlge Check Stock Manager. So if you're still an organization that uses a bit of paper checks, you can log your checkbook, and this check stock manager will alert you to any kind of skipped checks or missing checks. You can record checks that you've torn up or disposed of, etc. Setup and configuration all down here at the bottom. So there's financial settings such as the basic financial year, fiscal year, your reporting basis, accrual versus cash or hybrid, which is a lot of what a lot of HOAs use. Any kind of transfer controls between approvals. Billing settings, this can be a lot of your charge particular settings, how you're charging folks, what payment methods you support. Your chart of accounts, obviously very, very important. We do set that up with a very basic, actually not so basic, it's pretty detailed, chart of accounts customized to HOAs and shared ownership communities, but you can certainly customize and add your own. And then of course, budgets, asset tracking. As you're getting started, you have import tools here, where you can import transactions, budgets, etc. from previous spreadsheets or PDFs or other reports and other systems. You can track your reserve activity specifically, reserve studies and funding health you can look at here and set that up. Audit logs is of course important for everything that's gone on in your financial world. And then I have this enabled here as an AI accounting review. It's currently in beta, but it scans your books for any kind of mapping errors, drift, bookkeeping gaps, and gives you kind of some heads up, some yellow flags, if you will. So jumping into the general ledger here. So the general ledger is where you can review any and all journal entries and transactions. This is Hill Country Hills. It's a made-up community. I've got this populated with some basic data. You can add journal entries manually, but as transactions occur, your first stop is going to be in the financial inbox. And so financial inbox is kind of a focused set of activities where you need to spend time on any given day. And I don't have any teed up at the moment, but if there's a pending deposit that you need to match, if there's outstanding checks, if there's a transaction that you need to categorize, we're going to take a first stab at it. For example, all resident payments, we see all sides of that transaction. So we see the charge that you've created on your periodic basis. We see the payment made by the resident. We see the deposit come into your bank, assuming you've got that bank connected. And then all of that ties end to end, and we categorize that appropriately and move that straight through to your journal entries. If there's a debit card involved in the organization, if you're using a limited use debit card and you charge something, those are going to pull in here. You're going to have to categorize those on their own. We will take a stab at categorizing it based on known transactions, historicals. There's a lot of AI learning involved. So if you've spent money with Home Depot before and you put that under maintenance, then of course that's going to show up under maintenance again. It's going to let you confirm that. but it'll keep your activities off to the right and allow you to undo anything that you do here on a quick basis. But then you have your other quick links there. Other things to look at in financials, one of the more popular things, of course, billing and collections. So how do I set things up for our HOA? So you can create charges. So if you're wanting to create your dues charges, you can come in here, go into create charges. And if it's a special assessment, of course, you can do a one-time charge. But if it's going to be billing over time, you can do that here. Pay bill over time. We're going to do a deep dive into that on a separate video, but just know that that's here. And then something unique to Vlge, you can set property amounts that are specific to each property. So we have one particular community that has pool heating split up by the size square footage of their particular home, and so those have specific amounts set per property. Same with insurance for the entire community can be divided up that way. So most folks don't do that that way, but if you need to do it that way, it's covered. It's here. If you want to record a manual payment, basically accept a check from a resident, accept a check from somebody, and record it here. Then you can later match it in the financial inbox. If you want to look at your auto pays and see who's set up on auto pay and make sure that's all proceeding naturally, you can click on the auto pay report. Lockbox comes through Western Alliance Bank, so it's a physical check. Gets sent to a Nevada lockbox. It makes its way into your accounting here. Deposit gets put into your bank account automatically, and then you can move the funds out however you decide to move those. So lots going on here that you can look through. Those are the kind of most important, most used. Delinquent accounts is something pretty interesting. So if you end up with some delinquent accounts each quarter, each year, you can set up some automation in delinquent accounts. And that means when you click into the delinquent accounts, you can see, for example, who has outstanding charges and who's gotten the recipient. Again, this is all make-believe stuff. Of course, my name in here is real, but don't live at 100 Smarty Jones. And these amounts are all here. You can move somebody into collections here. From an automation standpoint, you can move the late fees and whatnot to manual or leave it automatic. And then you can trigger some sends for the reminder letters, delinquency letters. One of the things here, if you see the purple icon for legal icon, this clicking here downloads a PDF of the entire history of that account so that you can send that over to your collections attorney. This was guided by attorney feedback as to what makes sense for a collection letter. So all of the attempts, all the communications, all the charges, the history, all of the late fees, interest, if you have that all there in an easily downloadable PDF that you can shift right over to your attorney. So I'll pause there. Lots going on, as I mentioned here in the financial area, but it's certainly full of features and potential for you to manage your association's finances.